This is actually the most impressive thing about everything. I mean,
Is this how we're getting QX R-Spec?
And if you notice here, this is the sport grille that'll be coming out for next year.
we're taking this actual light, not just the design element, and we're applying it to the car.
What's the status right now? What are we looking at?
Currently, we are DEFCON 4, man.
So this is going to be the world's first ever QX80 R-Spec. Today we have a very exciting opportunity because Infiniti has decided to GTR swap a QX80 for SEMA, and we're gonna go check out the build. We just landed in LA and picked up a QX80 autograph. The shop that's doing the build is MotoIQ, so let's head over there. All right, we have arrived at MotoIQ. We've got Mike here. Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me at the shop.
Thanks for coming.
Super excited because as you can tell, we are in the midst of just a mess of various GTR and Infiniti components, right? So what's the plan? What are you doing?
Well, basically, we're going to get this VR38 and stick it in there.
Yep.
And then integrate it, tune it, get it running. Should be awesome.
So this is going to be the world's first ever QX80 R-Spec, aka GTR motor into a QX80.
Yeah.
So we've got a Nismo, so that was a donor car. What's everything being pulled from that? Obviously the VR38.
So right now it's the VR38.
Yeah.
And also we're getting the carbon ceramic brakes from not this particular car, but another GTR.
Okay. What about transmission? Because that was my big question. What are you going to run?
We're going to run the OEM transmission.
Okay.
And we've made adapters.
Okay.
And we 3D printed them, and now we're carving them out of billet. So we're going to mate this transmission to this engine.
Oh, okay.
And splice it into there.
So what are you doing for engine control then? Because obviously that's not going to run on a factory ECU.
Yeah, the CAN protocols between the two cars are very different. So we're going to be running the drivetrain on a Motec.
Okay.
A Motec M1.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a CAN translator box to get some of the CAN signals from the QX80 and put it in the Motec, so the Motec has enough information to run the drivetrain.
That's gotta be where it gets even more difficult, because like mechanical stuff you can fab, you can make things work, but once you get to the crazy tuning aspect of things, that's where it's like witchcraft to me.
Right, especially the latest generation of Infiniti CAN protocol. It's very sophisticated, and it's actually taking most of the engineering time on this whole project.
What's been the biggest challenge so far of doing this swap?
I would say the electronics and the CAN protocol.
Okay, but mechanically wise, anything weird that you didn't expect?
No, it's all pretty straightforward fabrication.
Yeah.
And with the advent of high resolution scanning, 3D printing, and being able to go straight from CAD to manufacturing with CNC machines, it's really not that hard.
So the VR38, out of a R35 Nismo, that's like 600 from the factory. Are we doing anything to upgrade it? I see fuel rails.
Yeah, so we're going to upgraded fuel system with much bigger injectors.
Okay.
The Motec control, of course, and we're running a upgraded Garrett turbo system.
Okay.
So it'll have good power potential.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually a really nice system. It has like investment cast manifolds, and we're fabbing everything out of stainless steel. I think it's really neat. It uses the latest Garrett G-Series turbos.
Okay.
They're super efficient. So basically, although it looks like a gigantic turbo, these are actually so efficient, they should actually spool quicker than the OEM turbos.
And provide more power.
Yeah.
And more power. We're not talking power yet, but it's going to be more than the VR35 found in the stock QX80 for sure.
We're running, the internals for now are stock, but in the future we may upgrade them.
Okay.
We're running all custom fab charge pipes and exhaust. We're running bigger Garrett intercoolers. One intercooler per bank. It's actually pretty cool. Where are they?
This is what happens when you're in a scramble to build a vehicle for SEMA, and it's not a normal, easy build. There's just parts everywhere.
The intercoolers are over here. Garrett bar and plate intercoolers. They're pretty generously sized for over 1,000 horsepower. All custom fabbed end tanks and everything to, fit right in the front. everything's in CAD, so it could be duplicated.
So this could become a series production QX80. Maybe. So first step obviously was pulling the VR35 out of this thing.
We had to fab new motor mounts. The engine is a lot taller.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we had to do some things like relocate the steering rack to get it to fit. And since we relocated the steering rack, we had to modify the knuckles for bump steer correction.
Okay.
So there's some custom machine parts on the knuckle. So we relocated the tie rods and everything, so bump steer remains the same.
Okay.
I think a lot of like swaps don't understand that engineering aspect, that they just move things to make them fit, and you have a horribly handling car.
Yeah.
But you know, we looked at the suspension geometry and we're maintaining that.
How similar did the VR35 seem when you were pulling it out to the 38? Because the same family, but...
We could tell it was pretty different right
really?
off the bat. Like we were hoping that, you know, everything would be compatible and it would just be a matter of cross-swapping components with less modification. But yeah, unfortunately that wasn't true. So we had to do a lot of modding to the vehicle to get it to work correctly.
Are you planning running this on E85 or just keeping, like what injectors are in here?
They're injector dynamics 2600cc.
Holy crap.
So it has the potential to run E85, and it's a piece of cake to run that on the Motec.
Yeah.
It's all like, everything is from Radium Engineering. So we have the capacity to move a lot of fuel through here.
I wonder what the factory transmission from a QX80 can handle power and torque-wise.
Well, I guess
we'll
we can
find out. Only one way to find out.
But this is basically the same transmission that's in a Titan.
Yes.
It's just maybe the valve body and some of the electronic controls are different. So, you know, there is, I believe this transmission can be modified to hold over 1,000 horsepower.
Dang.
You know, like it's a tried and true transmission.
Yeah, that's impressive. Because what does a factory GTR DCT handle? They can, what, 700 and they're starting to...
You know, like if you don't do drag launches, they can hold like 800-900.
Oh, dang, okay.
But if you do drag launches, you know, you can destroy first gear.
Very easily.
But, you know, there's tons of aftermarket support for the GTR transaxle. But, you know, with our time constraints, you know, we weren't able to integrate a GTR transaxle because, I mean, that would be cutting up the whole back of the vehicle.
That would be insane. But you would also have the world's first dual clutch Infiniti QX80, which would be kind of crazy.
And some of it too is just some of from drivetrain shock and everything. And I believe that this is actually going to be nice and pretty fun to drive.
I think this makes more sense for an SUV application. Yeah, you're just essentially mating them up together. So these are the wheels and tires going on the QX80 R-Spec. They are 24-inch wheels wrapped in 315 section tires. So that is a lot of rubber. This is a significant stack of wheel and tire, which will fit, you know, the QX80.
And check this out.
Oh, it's the floating center cap, so they always stay up?
Yeah, a little spinner, and it's weighted, so the Infiniti will always be up.
That's pretty cool.
This is actually the most impressive thing about everything. I mean...
You're like a child with a toy. That's actually really fun. What other...
Feel how good the bearings are.
Oh, wow. That's actually really, really smooth. This should be a factory option for regular QX80s. Wow. All right, we've got Martin from MotoIQ. So you're the project manager, right? You make all the things happen?
Yeah, the air traffic controller of the build.
Air traffic controller of the build. What's the status right now? What are we looking at?
Currently, we are DEFCON 4, man.
Oh, okay.
And that really is because Monday, we have representatives from Motec and Nissan coming here to do the actual CAN integration of the vehicle, which what Mike has alluded to, mechanically, this isn't exactly difficult. Putting a swap together and putting two things mechanically together and swapping it in there is not difficult, but the CAN system integration of this build is next level difficult. And this project really is a true marriage of the aftermarket with OE capabilities, because we are going to have a Motec representative here to help us with the Motec and the programming, the custom programming that's going to have to happen in order for the Motec to be able to decode the CAN packets, rewrite them, and then shoot them back to the QX80 computer. We're basically going to be running two computers parallel to each other.
What about wiring harness?
And the same thing.
Yeah.
2 engine harnesses.
Oh, geez.
Everything from the QX has to remain in the vehicle in order for it to work.
Okay.
And that's what sucks. And what we'll be figuring out next week is literally the tiny things like what's going to happen when we disconnect the dome light sensor? Is that going to throw everything off because of how CAN systems are? So that's what we're going to figure out. So what the bare minimum is that we're going to need to keep from the QX80 to keep everything running. Because even things as dumb as it may sound, just using the push start is not easy to do, because that all has to go through the QX80 computer. If the QX80 computer doesn't have a a crank angle trigger, it's not going to start the engine. So this is why, not sure if you noticed, but we are running 2 crank wheels. So we're running the VR35 crank angle sensor, and we are using this spacer. This is a 3D printed piece that will then be bolted here, and then we'll be spacing it out on the actual engine and transfer adapter to run the GTR crank angle sensor as well. That way we keep the QX80 computer happy and the MoTeC happy.
I'm already confused, and I'm already stressed, and I'm not even having to do this. You guys are, wow.
And this is where we are extremely thankful for Nissan's help. This would be a race car build. And that's what we would literally have a start dash panel where it's a push button start with your aftermarket panel. No power windows, no AC, nothing would work. It would be a race car.
So the effort is still to maintain some amount of OE level function then. That's
the goal is for this to have working air conditioning, working everything, for you to be able to use the touchpad to put in park and reverse, to remain, all those systems were hoping we can remain intact.
Hoping, I have confidence.
And have our VR38 engine
running. Because if you've been to SEMA, you see some of the SEMA builds, they're not always to this level of professionalism. Sometimes SEMA builds are SEMA builds,
Thank you for mentioning that.
Yes,
because that is what I hear at MotoIQ, that's what our reputation is. We're known for making things that are legit, and we don't sugarcoat anything, and we're about the details about making functional cars. So it would be completely against our mantra to show up with Bluetooth drive shaft type of a vehicle to SEMA, so that's not what we're doing here. We're going to try to provide an OEM plus type of a build.
Brake system. So I heard Nismo carbon ceramic brakes on QX80.
Yes, and that brings up a whole other level of things because we have different bolt pattern, wheel stud patterns, for example. So we've had to 3D print and fabricate. Thanks to Gyro Discs, they're going to help making us with the hats, the fabrication of the actual hats. So we did the design, the 3D printing, the plastic printing of our test parts to be able to put the carbon ceramic rotors directly onto this vehicle, along with the calipers as well.
Gotcha.
So,
what are you most excited about with this build?
Most excited about with this build? Honestly, what I'm most excited about is to be able to do a 2-wheel burnout with the air conditioner on and have 4 people in here with the seat massagers on. That is what the ultimate goal is. Super sweet burnout while everybody's getting a sweet massage in the car.
Heck yeah, that sounds like a fantastic combination.
And one thing we kind of didn't talk about really quick, the engines share name. The VR30 and the VR35, yes, it sounds like they're like engines. And we went into this build thinking the same thing. Hey, it's gonna be like the VR30 where parts are kind of the same. No, once we took 3D scans of these engines, they're completely different engines. Nothing mates up, nothing bolts on. They're completely different blocks.
Wait, so you're telling me VR30 and 38 are more similar?
More alike than the VR35 and the VR38.
Interesting.
Absolutely. And that was the biggest hurdle we had to overcome mid-build. So once we got the vehicles in here and we took the engines out, and then we had the realization of what did we get ourselves into? We knew the hurdles with the CAN system.
Yes.
We didn't realize the other hurdle, which was this. And then things like the QX80 has like a 3-stage alternator because it has a lithium-ion battery and it has a regular gel battery in the front. So we had to mount. So this is the custom brackets here to mount the QX80 alternator on the VR38. So just little things like that.
That you don't think of. Because I thought, VR, I mean, obviously, these are PFI and they're DI now, newer gen technology.
Yes.
But I thought it was like,
there's going to be some similarity.
Yeah. Interesting. Because I remember hearing VR30s when they launched those in the Z, the Q50, Q60. There was supposed to be a lot more similarity there. But less so with the 35.
Much less so. It almost seems like it's actually a clean sheet engine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
They may share the fact that they're both V6s, but as far as And they're turbo engines, but
Yeah.
that's as far as the similarities go.
Okay. What am I? Is this how we're getting QX R-Spec?
I can neither confirm nor deny, so I will let you
That'll be
come to your
cool.
conclusions. And if you notice here, this is the sport grille that'll
Yeah.
be coming out for next year.
Yeah.
We got our hands on one. Embargo's over, so you can show
We
that
can show
off.
that,
We can
yeah.
show that now.
So we got a splitter, side skirts,
So, correct.
widened fenders.
We will have a front splitter here. This
Yeah.
area here will be used for both the engine and the transmission cooler.
Okay.
This area will be taken up by the two massive intercoolers you saw.
Yeah.
That's what will be used here. And then these will be functional brake ducts
Yeah.
and functional brake ducts here as well for
Heck
the rear
yeah.
brakes.
Can we see the back? You have a rear
Oh,
shot?
that's the best part, man. The best is the money shot. Let me show you the
Look at all those
rear.
scans and CAD models of everything. This is engineering nerd
you
heaven.
go.
Oh, look at that. Okay, I like the quad exhaust and the rear wing.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
The rear, I think, really sets it. The front is cool.
Yeah.
But the rear quarter angle of the car is the best angle of it.
That's cool. That's gonna be real badass. There's something about a giant SUV when you make it into a race application thing that it's like defying the laws of physics, and it's just hilarious, right? That's cool. So obviously, proper enthusiast here with your personal GTR, and these are the lights we're talking about, right?
Yes, so we're taking this actual light, not just the design element, and we're applying it to the car. We're taking the NACA ducts here and applying them to the car. We're also taking this side badge here and applying it to the car. So that with the rear treatment are design elements of the GTR that are carrying over to the QX.
Heck yeah. It's also really cool to see an R35 Nismo essentially in pieces, right? Like you've taken the heart out of it and it's ready to get a transplant.
Right, and this is a press car that was cycled out and it was going to be crushed. So it's going to live on in our SEMA car.
This is a better repurposing of a lot of these press cars, they're not saleable units, or once they're done, they literally go to the crusher.
Right.
And yeah, I am happy to see this R35 is continuing on in another life. A much larger life. All right, Mike Martin, thank you so much for inviting me to come check out the QX80 R-Spec. I can tell you guys have a lot of work to do before SEMA, but it's some pretty exciting, epic work, right? So check out MotoIQ. You guys are doing some epic work. You guys excited?
Indeed.
Yeah.
We're under a lot of pressure, but we're very excited to get this on the road.
The world's first ever VR38 GTR Nismo swapped QX80. This is gonna be so cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this video checking it out. Check out MotoIQ. Thanks for watching.